So Callum Smith has received a formal offer from Frank Warren to engage in a unification bout with Billy Joe Saunders. Callum Smith is the WBA super middleweight champion and Billy Joe Saunders is the WBO super middleweight champion. I think I saw Eddie Hearn respond to the offer and said that the offer was, not a particularly good offer or something like that. This is a fight which needs to be made. It makes sense. It's a domestic showdown. Two guys who are very good amateurs. Both have got a good level of experience as pros. Both have beaten good opposition. Callum Smith, obviously, won the World Boxing Super Series and stopped George Groves in the final. Billy Joe Saunders has wins over people like David Lemieux, Andy Lee, Chris Eubank Jr. So this is a fight that needs to happen. Looking at this particular article, they're talking about making it a 50-50 on BT Sport pay-per-view. To me, that is reasonable. Yeah, that's reasonable. The only issue is having it on BT Sport pay-per-view probably couldn't generate the amount of money that they could make having it on Sky Box Office pay-per-view. So perhaps Matchroom and Smith should make Billy Joe Saunders' team a counter-offer and say we can make more money for the fight on Sky Box Office. If Callum Smith turns away from this unification opportunity, and Eddie Hearn turns away from it without making a counter-offer or something like that, as far as I'm concerned, it's a duck. Yeah, because why wouldn't you want to unify titles? And I rate Callum Smith. So I'm not trying to diss the guy, but I'm just telling you, he should be trying to make unifications with the likes of Billy Joe Saunders. And it may not be Callum Smith who's afraid of Billy Joe. It may be Eddie Hearn who's afraid of losing a potential cash cow. That's what it might be. Because Frank Warren is very confident in this situation. Frank Warren is putting his man right up there and saying, my man will fight your best man at 168. Let's do it. Let's go. Frank Warren's showing his level of confidence there. Is Eddie Hearn as confident right now? Imagine if Eddie Hearn puts Callum Smith in there against Billy Joe and Smith loses. And Matchroom lose another world champion. Matchroom, you lose another potential pay-per-view guy. A guy who does have big support in Liverpool. So we'll see how much belief Eddie Hearn has in Callum Smith over the next, week or so. Because if he has a lot of belief in Callum Smith, the fight will take place and he won't try and convince Smith to go in a different direction. At the end of the day, it should be Smith's decision. Yeah, he should be able to tell Eddie Hearn, look, I'm taking the fight. Nothing you can do about it. But I suspect Eddie Hearn might be dangling certain carrots in front of Smith's face, saying, no, don't go that way, come this way, or this, that, and the other. Look, Eddie Hearn has to be nervous at this point in terms of the ground that Frank Warren is catching on him. Yeah, he's gaining ground on Eddie Hearn. Don't get it twisted. Oh, yes, he is. I said this in my Facebook boxing group. And he also said it in a YouTube video a few weeks ago. And a lot of Matchroom, fanatics were on my case. Oh, what are you talking about, Hatman? This is nonsense. Frank Warren's still putting on rubbish shows and blah, blah, blah. Look, Frank Warren is on the front foot right now. Frank Warren is gaining ground. Yes, I criticize Frank Warren and I'll continue to criticize him when it's called for. Same goes for Eddie Hearn. But I'm just telling it like it is, bro. This show that Frank Warren's got coming up at the O2 with Dubois and Gorman and Joyce, that's a good show. That's a show I'm interested in. That's the first Frank Warren show that I've been genuinely excited for in 5 or 6 years. Some people are talking about Frampton versus Warrington. I wasn't really excited for that show, truth be told. Wasn't that on the same night as a Dylan White fight? And I chose to watch the Dylan White fight instead. Was it? Yeah, Dylan White Chisora, wasn't it? I watched that fight. I wasn't really excited for that show. I'm not saying it wasn't a good fight, but I wasn't excited for the show. This heavyweight show that Frank Warren's putting on, I'm excited for this show. This is what I want from Frank Warren, this kind of thing. And now he's putting his man, Billy Joe, at 168 up against Callum Smith, like saying, yeah, come get it. Come get it. He's challenging Smith. He's challenging Hearn. This is confident behavior from Frank Warren, and it shows you that he is gaining on Eddie Hearn. You think Eddie Hearn's not having some doubts and some sleepless nights about the fact that AJ just got knocked off? Come on now. I know there's some big Matchroom fanboys out there, but let's be real, people. Frank Warren is catching up. He is. I'm not saying he's caught up yet. And when you're talking about an international stable, Eddie Hearn has still got a far stronger stable. But domestically in the UK, Frank Warren is catching up fast. Yeah, he's got Tyson Fury there undefeated. Billy Joe Saunders there at 168. He's making moves and he's doing stuff. So we'll see what Callum Smith and Eddie Hearn are made of. We'll see where their bottle's at, particularly Hearn, with regards to this fight. It's definitely a fight I'd like to see. Definitely a tricky fight for Callum Smith, no question about it. Tricky fight for Billy Joe too. He's never fought somebody as big and powerful as Callum Smith before. So let's not get that twisted. I'm not sitting here saying it's an easy fight for Billy Joe. It's certainly not. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I mean, for example, when Billy Joe fought Andy Lee, that wasn't an easy fight for Billy Joe. Yeah, he won the fight, but man, that was a relatively close fight. You know, it wasn't a masterclass schooling by Billy Joe or anything like that. You have to imagine Callum Smith is going to be an even taller order than fighting an Andy Lee. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.